Will the deposits in every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of their size, be fully insured now? Are they fully recovered? Every bank, every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of the size of the deposit, will they get the same treatment that SVB just got or Signature Bank just got?
So we've seen a run on the banks, and look, we've got a microscope over the Fed looking to see what it is that they plan to do next. Are they going to move away from what they've been saying they're going to do? Are they basically gonna, pussy out and, bow down to the big companies and the banks and bail them all out and turn that money printer on? If they do, this is really bullish for stocks and cryptocurrency, but I'm going to dig into why this is still very, very bad moving forward. So stay until the very end. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Jump down into our Discord. Link is in the description of this video. It's absolutely free to join, and you won't regret it. We do private sales, seed rounds, and all sorts of different activities going on in the Discord. It's absolutely free to join the Discord, I will add. And what I will say is the last private sale that we did was Rejuve, and straight out of the gate did a 10x. So there's very happy community members in the Discord, so go check it out. Right, let's get down to the desktop. So we are seeing Silvergate, Silicon Valley Bank, and many others being bailed out. And basically what's being said is that, the depositors, if, uninsured depositors are going to be made whole, be it foreign investors or, closer to home in the US. So, look, what are your thoughts and opinions on this? President Biden has come out and said that, taxpayers are not going to, basically be burdened by the bailout. So basically that means the Fed and the government are going to have to bail out these banks. And in essence, that pretty much, in my eyes, means that the money printer is going to be turned on. But there is far bigger problems, as you saw with the opening of this video. So let's see the next part of that and see what the answer was from Yellen.
A bank only gets that treatment if a majority of the FDIC board, a supermajority of the Fed board, and I, in consultation with the president, determine that the failure to protect uninsured depositors would create systemic risk and significant economic and financial consequences.
So what is your plan?
We made that determination.
Right. So what is your plan to keep large depositors from moving their funds out of community banks into the big banks? We have seen the mergers of banks over the past decade. I'm concerned you're about to accelerate that by encouraging anyone who has a large deposit in a community bank to say, we're not going to make you whole, but if you go to one of our preferred banks, we will make you whole at that point.
And this is a huge problem, right? Because basically they're just causing runs on the smaller banks. And what we're going to see is far more banks fail. This is a big sign that cryptocurrency could come into its own, but only if the world is ready for it. And I guess that's a question for everybody watching today. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think the time is now for crypto and blockchain technology? Because printing is just not the answer. If you're going to print trillions more dollars, you are going to, eventually have to tighten by increasing interest rates. And I just don't think that that is a sustainable way to be moving forward. The only other option is a complete reset. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, but let's see what the answer is.
Look, I mean, that's certainly not something that we're encouraging.
That is happening right now.
That is happening because depositors are concerned about the bank failures that have happened and whether or not other banks could also
No,
fail.
it's happening
And
because you're fully insured no matter what the amount is if you're in a big bank. You're not fully insured if you're in a community bank.
Well, you're not fully insured. And
You were at signature, and it just barely met that threshold. You were at signature.
Well, we felt that there was a serious risk of contagion that could have brought down and triggered runs on many banks.
So basically, they thought that, there was a systemic risk of not bailing this bank out, and we would see more runs on the banks. I mean, I wonder how stupid some of these people realize they sound. Ultimately, they're causing more runs on the banks by bailing out and covering the uninsured depositors at some of these bigger banks. Basically, the true and honest story here is that they care so much about the individuals that are invested in some of these bigger banks and the big companies and the powerful people that are behind some of these big companies more than they actually care about what the issues are. If they really wanted to solve these issues, I think they would the Fed would basically look to increase the interest rates. They would do another big hike, and they would continue to flush down inflation down to that 2%. But the facts remain. That is not what's going to happen, in my opinion. And we're going to start to see some, printing going on and inflation, run riot. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. But in the meantime, let's get back down to the desktop and have a look at everything else related to cryptocurrency and the financial sector that we should be keeping an eye on. I say financial sector, the traditional finance sector and banks. So we've covered this one already. Let's move on, and we've got this one here. Banking giant State Street cuts ties with crypto custody firm 𝗕𝗂𝗪. And basically there is a big agenda going on around the fact that, crypto is bad, and that is the reason why the banking sector is failing. And that is really not the case. This is the fact that, the US government and the Fed have, printed so much money during the COVID crisis that basically, they've got to basically get it under control. And, failing banks, failing companies, I think this is part and parcel of the problem that they've made, and they can't solve it. And, all they're doing by, pivoting now is just moving the problem further down the line. And I think it's going to be far, far worse. We are really seeing the beginning of like the 2008 financial crisis, but in 2023. And I think it's going to be far worse because the consequences are huge. But look, there's an agenda against cryptocurrency, and I think that we can highlight it here. Former Bulgarian finance minister calls for a ban on crypto in the wake of the banking crisis. Basically this article here from CoinDesk, I think sums it up correctly. Stop blaming crypto for traditional finance failures. And I think you need to look at what's actually happening here. Banks have made some bad decisions and they are being bailed out. And we saw this back, in the previous financial crisis. We're seeing it all over again now. What this really means is the rich are going to get richer, the poor and the middle class are going to get poorer until there is no middle class. And I really do feel that, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And what I mean by this is the price of everything is going to go up with inflation. The cost of living is going to go up, food, the electricity bills, energy bills, assets like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and stocks, they're all going to go up in value. And that's great if you've got a portfolio. But many people don't. And, basically everything, housing, everything's going to go up in value. And, you're going to have to start seeing companies pay more to their staff so people can afford to actually live. And I think there's going to be a bit of a depression potentially on the cards. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on what I've said in this video. Really interesting stuff. What I would say is, short to medium term, we might have a little bit of bullish movement in the crypto space. But let's see what the Fed do, because there's no guarantees. They flip-flop, as we've seen in the previous week or so, from being very, harsh and, very down the line as to what they're going to do, but very much flipped very, very quickly as soon as some of their friends started incurring some potential losses. So, let's just be mindful that, there could be a bull trap here in the respect that the Fed might still be harsh. I don't think that is the case, but you just never know. There's no guarantees in crypto. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. Make sure that you go away, do your own investment decisions, your own research and all that wonderful stuff, because I'm not a financial advisor. So you should be treating this as educational purposes only. If you enjoyed today's podcast, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.